what's up? This is David Benjamin from HealthyWildandFree.com. Today I want to share with you 23 foods that cause you to gain up to 2 pounds in less than 24 hours. So it's interesting because I found this information. This information was shared with me from Lynn Janae Recitas, author of The Plan, which is a book on weight loss and removing pro-inflammatory foods from your diet. She was actually a guest on the Healthy, Wild, and Free podcast, and truly incredible information because most people aren't talking about specific foods or testing specific foods that cause an inflammatory response in the gut. So basically what Lynn Janae Recitas does is she has clients test all the foods they're eating in their diet and then see how their body and how their gut responds to those foods. So if your gut is healthy, you're going to respond better, obviously, but some people just don't digest certain foods well. So there's different roles and different things that kind of play into that. So for example, I've heard some people say genetics play a role. So I'm part Irish and I'm kind of a mix of a lot of things, but for me, I've always liked potatoes, and maybe it's because my Irish ancestors ate a lot of potatoes. So it could be partially genetic based on kind of what your body can digest and assimilate and kind of what it's wired to do, if you will. But then there's also environmental factors as well, and there's a lot of different factors that go into it. But with all those things considered under one roof, under your digestive system, it's important to understand that everyone is going to react or digest foods differently. So for me, I might be okay with, say for example, eating black beans, whereas you may not. You may have an inflammatory response from eating black beans. That means I can eat black beans all day long, well, maybe not all day long, but quite a while. I can eat black beans every day or every other day for years and I won't gain a pound. Whereas if you were to do the same, you would actually gain weight over time because of black beans. So it's interesting because these 23 foods, the list, I don't know all of them, I'm going to share as many of those foods with you as I can, and the rest will be in the article right below this video, but these foods, a good probably half or so, a third to a half of these foods are actually healthy whole foods that you would think if you heard, this food, you'd say, oh, that's definitely a food that's healthy and that's going to benefit me and help me lose weight, but not necessarily. And that's why certain tests are beneficial, and the book The Plan talks about this, so I'll link that up below as well. But basically, some of the foods on the list are tomato sauce, turkey, shrimp, black beans are actually on the list too, asparagus, grapefruit. Surprisingly, I mean, you'd think asparagus and grapefruit are some of the top weight loss foods, but 85% of people had a reaction to those foods, so it really just depends. There's also, what else was on the list? Hot dogs, kind of makes sense that would cause you to gain weight over time, but that was on the list. Thick crust pizza was on the list, corn was on the list, and there's several other foods on the list. I don't recall all of them at this moment, but those foods I just shared with you, 85% of people gained a half pound to 2 pound within 24 hours, up to 24 hours from that. So basically 85% of people are reactive to those foods, causing their body to have that inflammatory response. So I'm not saying this is 100%, like I said, it's 85%, and it may be relevant to different foods you ate with those foods. So say for example grapefruit. I would say if you ate something with grapefruit, like Wheaties cereal that has gluten in it, yeah, you're going to show you gained a half pound to 2 pounds over the next day because you had something, or toast, with that grapefruit. So there are different food pairing and food combination factors that obviously play a role too. So like I said, it's not 100%, but there's certain foods on this list that I would say guaranteed for 85 to 150% of people should completely avoid thick crust pizza, not corn dogs, well, corn in general for the most part, and hot dogs, things like that, shrimp. Most people are going to react to these foods for various reasons, whether it be the way they're processed, whatever it may be. Our bodies just aren't capable of digesting them in a healthy way, because what happens is if you eat something that's foreign to the body, the gut has an inflammatory response to essentially protect the body. So that inflammation goes into heal it, but if that inflammation is staying longer, it causes weight gain, which when you have weight gain, the extra fat and the extra buildup slows down your digestive system, your metabolism, you're less able to function wholly in your digestive system, which means that obviously you're going to continue eating meals. You eat lunch, breakfast, dinner, snacks, whatever it may be. So that now you're just piling food and other potential inflammatory foods or toxic foods or foods with pesticides or GMOs or sugar, which is going to cause hormonal, insulin, blood sugar, imbalances and all these different things. adding all that into your gut, and then your gut is going to be, over time is going to add more weight, inflammatory response, toxicity, buildup in the liver and the colon, and all these different things, and then your body is just becoming, you become fatter and fatter essentially. So what you want to do is avoid these foods. Like I said, not all of them. The whole foods, like asparagus and grapefruit, you'll have to test for yourself, because I think the whole foods, asparagus, grapefruit, even black beans, things like that, you'll have to test them for yourself and make sure you're doing the test specifically and following the protocol. So just avoid the foods that for sure are junk food on those lists, and then the healthy foods you can test for yourself to see, and make sure to eat these healthy foods by themselves. I don't know if Lynn Genevieve Test talks about that in the book, but there are a lot of different food reactions and food combinations that will cause a response. So for example, grapefruit and asparagus, typically people don't eat asparagus alone, they eat asparagus with a meal. Typically people will eat grapefruit with toast or a bagel or something. So you have to make sure to eat these foods alone, because that will alter the results of if that food is inflammatory for your gut or not. So anyway, I gave you some of those foods. The rest of those foods will be at the article below. Make sure to avoid the ones you know are complete junk food, and then test the other foods using the plan protocol, and that'll let you know what foods are inflammatory, what foods cause you to gain 1/2 pound to 2 pounds within a day, and that'll give you a good indicator of which foods to avoid, or at least understand better, so that you aren't gaining weight from those foods because you're avoiding them, and then you can have alternatives, and alternative whole foods as well, because there's a lot of alternative whole foods that are going to benefit your health and benefit your digestive system that aren't going to cause that inflammatory response in the gut. So it's just interesting information. I found it relevant, I found it important if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to lose weight healthy, in a healthy, sustainable, natural way that's persistently been difficult for you, and you want to commit to something natural and commit to something that has not only an effect over the next couple months or next couple weeks, but over your life, and really getting rid of the excess fat and keeping your body fit, in shape, and losing that excess weight and not gaining it all back because of the diet or the pill or the exercise routine that's just too hard to maintain, then check out this book, check out the protocol, and check out the article below. So they're all linked up below. My name is David Benjamin from healthywildandfree.com. I'm going to be talking more about natural weight loss, more about healthy brain and healthy gut function, and health and well-being, nutrition, detoxification, diet, fitness, all these types of topics, emotional health, well-being, things of that nature. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button below. Please like, favorite, comment, and share. And I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to live healthy, wild, and free. Bye.